In the heart of Nigeria, a land known for its rich culture and fertile soil, something terrible is happening, and it's breaking hearts across the nation. Benue State is now soaked in the blood of its people. Families are being wiped out at night, and mothers are losing their children. Not just one, not just two, but we heard of a family who lost four of their children at once in the crisis. An entire village was being attacked, and all that is left behind are ashes, tears, and silence. In the past week alone, headlines from Benue State have captured a number of people who lost their lives in a recent crisis, and now over 200 lives were lost in a single attack. These are not just numbers, they are families, children, mothers and fathers. All were brutally murdered in their sleep. Recently, the town of Yelewata in Goma local government area witnessed a massive killing. Over 200 innocent people were slaughtered overnight while they slept peacefully in their homes. The attack sparked a massive protest in Makurdi, which is the capital of Benue State, as angry and grieving youths demanded answers. These killings are not new. They have been happening for years. In 2023 alone, over 500,000 people were displaced in Benue State, with over 21 IDP camps all over Makurdi, sheltering families who have lost everything. Children who are being born in these camps without ever knowing the path to their ancestral homes. Communities are being wiped away, and the silence from those in power is overwhelming.
My name is Solomon Ugbi. I am the community leader of the victims here from Yelwata. Actually, what brought us here was the crisis that culminated into disastrous killings and destruction of properties in our community by the Fulani herdsmen. How it started was like this. Initially, we were very friendly with the herders. They usually come in our town, buy things, eat together with us. We mix freely in our farms. You know, we are dominantly farmers there. So what became of the crisis was they started grazing on our crops. Whoever dealt them, they either machete you down or they shoot you with a gun. So in the course of this, many people were displaced from the neighboring communities and all migrated to Yelwata town. So to some extent that they kept destroying crops almost to the limit of the town. So the youth there became annoyed and they move on to at least ask them to vacate so that we can also go to our farm. So about a week after, they started threatening. We have started hearing the kind of threatening from them that they are coming to attack us. Initially, we thought it was rumor. So people ran from the neighboring communities to come and settle in Yelwata for safety. At least we have some security men there. So that fateful night of 13th of June this month, in the night, at about 10:20 or thereabout, it started raining. And most people, as you know, they became a number as the people migrated from the neighboring community to settle there. They didn't have shelter, so they had to run into the stores that were available. So suddenly the attackers arrived and they started shooting sporadically, killing people. So people that ran into the store, they had fuel, they will pour it in and burn. Over 20 people in one store, some 50, some like that. So that's how the killings took place. Some were in their houses sleeping. They will break in, shoot at the person and machete Well, we don't have faith here. Ordinarily, we never wanted to be a camp. There were earlier existing camps in Daudu, in OTC, and other places, but we refused to be in the camp. That's why we were in our village. As we are here, we are going through a lot. You know, we are farmers, and major thing about a farmer, he farms to feed himself. So the major challenge here is even the feeding. When we came here, a family of 5, a family of 15, will give you a cup of rice. How would that sustain you? So we are not comfortable here. So we even ask the government to take us back and provide us security so that we can be there and be accessing some food for ourselves. We cannot depend on government alone, and government cannot continue feeding us. But if we go back home, at least we'll be able to manage those that houses that were not burned. We can even farm around the garden and raise vegetable to sustain their living. And also by running away, leaving our place, we are automatically saying that the same French should come and occupy our land. So we don't want to be in the camp, we want to go back so that we occupy our place. That is our ancestral home. We cannot run away from it.
Na policeman na escape because dey come for dat my side, my shop back. I dey sleep, I no dey sleep for house, I go come dey sleep for shop. I come stay dey inside shop, dey shoot, I dey inside shop. People for dat area dey comot, we no know, dey inside shop. Me and one woman, the baby dey cry. I come tell the woman say make back in bed or make give breast. Na the woman come still dey on light. Say why dey on light again? Small time I come see the policeman come start for back, dey put tear gas. Na wetin allow us say make we comot for outside.
The people are tired, they are scared, and most of them feel abandoned. What's worse is that those responsible for these atrocities are often better armed than the very citizens they attack. Communities in Benue do not have weapons. They don't have any form of protection. All they have is prayer and the desperate hope that someone in power will care enough to act. To add insult to injury, there are reports of security forces escorting cattle in the same region where human blood have barely dried up. It raises a painful question. Are cows more valuable than human lives in Nigeria? How do you tell a mother who have lost her children in a one-night crisis to be strong? How do you console someone who has lost everything, including family members and friends and families in a community? Meanwhile, displaced families who are now living in IDP camps continue to suffer. Some have been there for over 3 years. They live in tents, eat less than once a day, and have no clear future. This is not just about Benue. The killing also happened in Plateau, Nasarawa State. It is spreading, and if we continue to act like it is just their problem, we might wake up one day to find out that this crisis is just at our doorstep. Nigeria is bleeding and Benue is screaming, and what the people want is simple: to be seen and to be heard and to be protected. As citizens are broken and tired, they are not asking for luxury or power, they are begging for life. They are asking for safety, for peace over their lands and in their communities. Yet the cries of these people seem to fall on deaf ears. We pray for a government that shows up, that speaks up, and stands up when its people are in pain. We are asking for a peaceful country where everyone will live happily.
So with the recent spate of terrorist attacks in Benue State, precisely the one at Yelwata town, there has been lots of humanitarian crisis where the IDPs, the affected persons, the displaced persons over there have been moved to a temporary camp called the Makudi International Market. In view of that, we have a population of over 6,000 persons being inhabited in that camp. So as a ministry, Ignition 633 has a way of setting in order to help in this aspect. At this time, we have actually done something different. Why other organizations have given the normal food items like rice and that, we have specifically made a very nutritious substance that is consumed by all called Tom Brown. Tom Brown is very nutritious, and it's made from corn, from groundnuts, from soya beans, and many other ingredients. We have a target population of over 750 displaced persons, and these are the most vulnerable, those who are suffering from um, acute malnutrition and severe acute malnutrition. They are the lactating mothers, the breastfeeding mothers, and children under 5 years. And we are hoping that this intervention will help greatly in solving the humanitarian crisis, especially in the aspect of nutrition at the IDP camp.
Beyond politics and human injustice, we must also recognize this tragedy for what it truly is. It is a spiritual attack. The devil, who is the enemy of all righteousness, is targeting regions where the light of Christ is shining, and Benue is sadly not an exception. These killings are not just about land or cattle. They are about extinguishing hope, silencing faith, and breaking the spirit of God's people. The pain is deep, but so is the spiritual battle behind it. As Christians, we must not only speak out and take action, but also stand in prayer, knowing that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God. Let us rise as watchmen over this land, interceding for divine intervention, protection, and revival. Because this is more than a physical war, it is a spiritual warfare. And we must fight it on our knees, believing that God will provide answers to our prayers and come to our rescue. But in the midst of the darkness that we're experiencing currently, we haven't lost hope and trust in God. We are thankful for the courage of the survivors, for the mothers that still manage to comfort others despite their own grief, and for the aid workers who continue to show up at the IDP camp with the little that they have to offer, and for the voices who still rise in prayers and protest. We thank God for every life that was spared during the crisis, for every hand that has been extended, and for every soul that has refused to give into hate. Let us continue to pray for the healing in Benue State, comfort for those who are grieving, and protection for the vulnerable, and the strength for the weary. May the God of all comfort stretch his hands over the land and bring healing and an end to the crisis in Benue State and in Nigeria as a whole. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll always be grateful for the prayers that you keep investing in this ministry, in this state, and in this country. Our desire is that the Lord continue to bless you all and grant your heart desires.